All right, everyone. Well, good morning. It's 10 o'clock, and welcome to 2014. And my next WebEx here today, which is going to be on a tool that I'm not sure is used widely, but it's our MarketQuest tool. And I decided to do this particular program right now simply because in the scheme of your year, I don't know of a better day to use this than today, or at least to learn to use it, but also to use it. Simply, we get to look at a full year recap, and what a better way to start the year than knowing what just took place and having some data to work with that. As many of you know, I've said over the last couple of months, probably years now, that I've become more and more of a numbers guy all the time, which is always startling to me. But nonetheless, numbers are what drive our business and what suits my style the most. So I'm pretty excited. We have a nice group of folks logging with us today, so welcome everybody. And again, welcome to 2014. We're just getting some folks logged in here in Hershey, so they can follow along too. And over the next couple of weeks, you'll see me appearing in different offices to host these, just so you can all get to see the excitement that is created when you're here live. So that being said, the starting point today for all of us is going to be right here in the gateway. And a number of the things that I'll be covering over the next several weeks are going to be walking us through the gateway and making sure you know that just where all these buttons lead and what's the point, what's the value. So MarketQuest is going to be our first run at it today. We've recently done Homebase in Touch. If you haven't seen that one, it is archived, and I'll be glad to send out a link to anybody. We've touched on Toolkit. In the next couple of months, we're going to be talking about agent profiles and agent branding because it's such a powerful program and such a great value for you. But today, let's look at MarketQuest. So it's the first or the second of the year. All of us have, let's go back to the starting point here. All of us are affiliated with one or another or maybe several multi-lists. And here you can see that you can choose either the Central Penn, MRIS, or go into the York, the RAYAC system, which again is Paragon. But all that data has been assimilated for you into one location, and we can create some powerful reports. Part of them is, having the report. The other part is knowing, well, how do I explain this? And so I'm going to give you the John Tice version on some of these things, give you an idea of how we can use them in meeting with a client right now. My favorite question is always, how's the market? And for many of you that have sat through some of my recent classes, the answer is, it depends. Well, if we're working with a buyer or a seller, of course it depends. Here's a report that we can make it work either way. So again, if they ask me the question, how's the market? It depends. I have some reports I can drop right back to and give you a quick look into what your marketplace would look like. So just because I know Franklin County, you always feel a little left out, we're going to work in the MRIS system today. And the beautiful thing is, I don't need to be a member of anything other than a jack-on company to have access to MarketQuest. So I can look at the Franklin County data through MRIS by using this particular tool. So we simply select our multi-list, and that'll bring us to our search fields here that we can start to create our report. I think we're going to set a record today for people logging on, so this is pretty cool. So when we get to this screen, we're going to have a number of choices, and here's where you can really start to tailor this. So we're going to start with a really broad report, and then we're going to drill it down to a marketplace to get an idea of maybe my presence in the marketplace as the price range and the clientele that I represent, or maybe I'm coming out to your home and I'm going to create a MarketQuest report that works along with your particular property in the marketplace. So here we go. We're going to take a look at single-family properties. We'll include townhomes and condos. Now, you know your marketplace and you know what you're looking to do. Maybe you want to add mobile, or you'd be doing a land search, commercial search. You get the idea. We can put in a price range. We can also put in a date range, or we have a selection of reports that we can use that are going to be a 25-week report, which is the market trends only, or a variance report, again, which will give us the market trends, and of course year-to-date, month-to-date, which is going to be a pretty slim report today. So let's just look at the last 12 months, just because. And we're going to do a 12-month report. We won't worry about grouping right now because that's market share, and we'll deal with that last. That might have some value to you. Right now I'm working with consumers, and I want to be able to show them what the heck we're doing in the market. We can go in and sort this data by MLS area, by the county, the city, or a zip code, and we can select multiple choices. So right now we are in Franklin County. So let's take a look at Franklin on a really gross measure. So we simply select Franklin, add it to the box on the right. This is like working through any Paragon search. We made our selections, and we're going to take a look at our market action report. Pardon me? Yeah, absolutely. So you might be familiar with the market action report. You may have seen some of these in the past. The only person that could create this for you was the manager. At least when I was managing, we could create them for agents. But now you have access to it through the gateway. This is a lot of data has been pulled together. We're looking at 12 months worth of data. You can see here it'll brand a header and create a report for you. So we've got a Franklin County report. My branding information is right here. We can go in and we can modify that header. So if you want to add additional information, go right ahead, but it's going to have your agent info and quite a bit of the information there already. So you can do some slight modifications. The action that you picked on the prior screen is going to set this county, Franklin County, and it will show you that it's single-family townhomes, condos, and just everything. So as we go down the line, we have a lot of powerful information that's going to show the trends. We can show the median prices, median list price of all current listings, average list price, so it's grabbing everything in your multi-list. And we've done it without actually creating much of a search at all. Now we can show the trends as arrows, and you'll see here it's kind of a 50-50 thing, things that are moving up, down, and sideways. So I guess that's 30-30-30. But you'll see how you stack up right now, the actual numbers for the month, for the last month, the trend, the last 3 months, the prior year month. So that would be January of 2013, year-to-date, and then your year-to-date numbers, again, for median sale price. You can see that year-to-date was a little higher than it was for the current month. And again, we're going through the end of December here because it's a year-over-year report. So we can see how we're doing year over year. If you're more of an analytic and you don't like arrows, here in the very top line, instead of showing the trend as an arrow, we'll show it as a value. One click and you converted it to actual numbers. So if that works better for your style, terrific. You also have the ability to print this out into a PDF, which I know many of you would like because many of you like paper. For me, I'd create a PDF and just send it to myself from my iPad, and I'd have this as a talking point through my iPhone or iPad all day, month, year long. Would be a great report to archive. Now, as we scroll through this, and I'll give you credit for being able to read and understanding all the numbers, but as we scroll through this, we can see a 3-year snapshot of the trend in sales. So we can see the numbers are slowly, ever so slowly creeping up, which is confirmed right up here. Pricing is kind of a mess. It's all over the place, but the overall trend line is moving in the right direction, and we all, I'm sure, have a feel for that. This is a chart that actually got me thinking of doing this in the first place, this particular presentation. In 2011, in January, there were 1,052 active properties. In January of 12, 877. January of 13, 760-something. And we're probably going to be very close to that number again this year. So the good news is the inventory is steadily decreasing. The little red line shows you the months of supply. So at one point, we were at excess of 15 months. We were about 17 months of inventory for our trend. Right now, we are at about 8.
David Hamilton here. Here.
So the trend is going in the right direction. So as that inventory slowly disappears, we can start to look to the future and say, you know, we can easily mirror this past year, or we may see 2014 to be an even better year as this trends down. Fewer properties on the market. If you were paying attention in your toolkit report, know that when there's fewer properties in the market, we're going to start to see properties sell in a shorter period of time for a higher price. How can we confirm that? We'll just go back up to the top and get an idea of days on the market. Again, holding kind of steady in this particular market, but down 12%, 11 and 12% from the prior year. Average sale price, let's take a look at that one. Sold price per square foot is up 1%, moving in the right direction. We're not going to set any records with these numbers, but we do know that we are moving in the right direction. It sure beats a decline any day of the week. So when you start to review these two together, your top has all the answers, and then the charts simply break it down into a simpler view. What can you do with data like this? Well, this would be a fun thing to show up and put on the top of the pile for any listing presentation you're going to do. Give somebody an idea of the trend in the market. Many of you know that I really like my market conditions addendum. This is a more visual, more graphic view. Perhaps you would put the two of them together and add a little color to your presentation. Market time. Once again, we're not setting any records with this one, but the trend is going in the right direction. Look at this, in excess of 158 days. Right now, 118. So that's a quick 30% in anybody's book over the last 2 years. So here we were at 105. Here we're at a low, probably about 70%. And you can see the moving average or the moving trend line, which again is going in the right direction. Any of these pieces would make a great piece for one of your postcard mailings, a newsletter that you send out. If you do email and you email your client list, all of these would be great presentation pieces, one at a time, or you can simply save and print the page and use it any way that you want. If you like stuff that moves up, how about the selling price per square foot? Again, a powerful piece. And each of these sections come with a little description, tells you what they are, what they represent, and the computer program actually creates a nice little dialogue that's very well written that would work anywhere. These are great pieces. You can cut and paste them into a LinkedIn page and give that technical group out there a quick overview of the marketplace. Selling versus listing price. Well, something happened there. There's an anomaly, 92%. But you can see the trend is slowly inching up, which means we're narrowing that gap between the list and sale price. Now, this is all of the data for the county, so it's easy to have anomalies break into this. And then the chart that you're all familiar with, the MarketQuest report that you can pull right from the main page of the Jack Owen website. This one just piles all that data into one place. I prefer it broken out a little bit, but whatever suits your style. So we have a great report here. Again, we can export it to a PDF, and now we have it. We can print it, add it to a report, take it to an open house, do whatever it is that we prefer. So let's go back to our search and make it a little more meaningful for that appointment that we have this afternoon. So I'm coming out. You have a single home. Price range on your house, well, I don't really know, but my sense is it's going to be somewhere between $140,000 and $200,000. I still want that last 12-month report. I can stay with the county. If I had a criticism, I like school districts. We work with school districts a lot here in the area. Unfortunately, we don't have that as a choice. So we can work with a multi-list area. If you know your area and you want to drill it down that way, terrific. If I was in the Central Penn system, I'd be selecting Area 3 personally. So we're keeping our Franklin County. I know in Franklin County you guys work with a lot of zip codes, and I'll apologize for not knowing your particular zip codes, but you'll get the sense. So we're going to drill this down to single homes, 140 to 200,000, last 12-month report, and let's see what we get. The nice thing, it's going to be a super custom-tailored report for your appointment for today, and it looks like you spent a lot of time and did a lot of work. And so once you read through these and get clear in your mind what the tables represent, you can show up and look really prepared and be the pro, the neighborhood expert in the room. So I've created a market action report for Franklin County, single homes, 140 to 200, and the system simply takes care of the rest. There's a lot of green on this report, which I would expect simply because 140 to 200,000 should be a pretty active piece of your marketplace. Again, I'd rather show you the real values. A lot of green there, a lot of real positive numbers. And so, once again, you can analyze that any way you like. Let's go see what our inventory report is. Interestingly enough, that segment has really grown. So your inventory has steadily gone up in the last 6 months. So it might be the range of pricing that I selected. We need to narrow it down a little bit more. I would have expected to see it still tempering down. But again, this is the information that you'll want for that appointment, so I can come in and meet with you and let you know that, guys, I know we were feeling pretty good about your house, and I know you're looking around seeing a lot more activity, but here's what's truly taking place in the marketplace. Now, across the county, this is the case. Perhaps in your one town, we'll see things to be a little different. Let's go back and tweak our search. I'm going to switch from a county to a city. And since our home base is Chambersburg, let's see what Chambersburg looks like. So our search all stays the same. We've just switched to a city. We've selected Chambersburg. And let's see if Chambersburg is doing better than the overall marketplace. Again, a lot of green going on. Okay, much lower inventory, but the trend is the same. So interesting, that Chambersburg's trend is carrying the same as the county did. And on these large-scale searches, I'd say that's going to typically be the same, although you might be in a little town with much fewer numbers, 60, 70, 80 units, not a lot of property, but you still see that you're playing with a low of 4 months of inventory as that trend to a high right now of about 18. Powerful information for your people to know that you've got 15, 16 months of inventory of homes. And what this simply means is that if nothing new came on the market and the pace of sales stayed the same, you've got a year, you've got 5 quarters of properties that you need to sell through to sell out of everything. You know, the market gets exciting when we're down in this 4 and 5 months range. So when you're at 12, 14, 15 months, that's just a lot of houses, guys. You're going to see this turn around pretty quickly. You can see the trend that your marketplace follows real quick, real visual. So the time to price it right is now to get it sold when the market really heats up. The homes that have been on the market through the holidays, look at those individual trend reports and see what you're seeing as far as listing views and correlate the two together for your owners. The properties that I represent right now, I know the views over the last 60 days, especially the commercial properties that I'm carrying, are seeing views pick up, and it picked up in calls. Property that had no showings has had 3 showings during the month of December. So I know the commercial market is waking up a little bit, and simply by tracking one active listing, because I only care about that when it's the one I'm going to get paid on, and that my client wants sold. I mean, let's be real. That's what I show up for. Your dollars per square foot has been kind of holding the line here, which I wouldn't be surprised by, again, by watching your inventory numbers. There's nothing here that says it's turned into a seller's market. The sellers believe it has, but we all know that we need to sell through these properties. So you have a lot of good news, but don't just get stuck on one particular line. Let's go down and see what's happening with our inventory numbers and make sure we're giving them a clear and accurate picture. Just because I can, I'm going to switch back to a different multi-list, so I don't really have to work backwards. I can simply go through and make my selections. But let's go see what's happening in our fun little town of Hershey. I don't know if it's going to give us Hershey as a choice. Yeah, it does. So what have we got here? 12 months, city, single families in Hershey. Let's see what they're doing. Kind of a mixed bag there, a lot of blue. So it's still been a kind of a touchy market. We can certainly see that the number of sales are up. Now, Hershey isn't going to have great big numbers. Right now there's 29 pending sales in Derry Township. They don't all represent Hershey. And now that I said that, we need Hummelstown too, right? You guys, come on. That's what you're here for. You're supposed to help me out here. The school district is not a choice, but Hershey and Hummelstown pretty much gets us our Derry Township. So when we throw Hummelstown into the mix, we triple the number of sales. And we're going to see some more positive numbers here. For those of you that don't know the Hershey market well, we've got the downtown area, and then everything else becomes Hummelstown. So some of our better neighborhoods all have Hummelstown addresses. And there's some in Palmares, which a whole nother, that's where the school districts would help. So we can see here that the sales number is much stronger, but the trend is certainly moving in the right direction. Simply more units are selling. Pricing is a roller coaster ride. So other than 1 or 2 really high-end neighborhoods, we haven't taken any major hits around Hershey for values. Our inventory trending in the right direction. And you can see here we've maintained a strong profile over the last 2 years, with that moving average hanging in about 8 months of supply, if we were going to put a trend line on this. So that's a great sign. But again, you start putting these side by side. We've got 42 properties selling. We have 113 on the market at any given time. Still some pretty strong numbers, but we're seeing things returning into the marketplace. Market time is slowly trending down. Dollars per square has been kind of a flat line. Sales versus listings, we're hanging right in there at around that 96, 97% as a straight line average. And then our MarketQuest report that the consumers get to see puts that all together into one pile, which I'd be willing to bet the average consumer can look at that all day and not have a clue what's going on, which is why I'm recommending to you to know this program, to know these answers, and, email this to yourself. Have it in your phone. Have it in your mind that you can easily pull it out of the air and give them an idea. What's happening in the market? How's the marketplace? Well, it depends. Beautiful thing is this works for my it depends response. It depends. You're buying or selling. If you're buying, I can give you an idea of the marketplace. If you're selling, I can give you an idea of the marketplace and tailor my answer. And again, we can throw this right out to a PDF, which is always fun, and now I have it and can do whatever I would like to do with it. So folks in the room, I've got my live audience here in Hershey. I'm setting a record here today for most people in attendance during one of these presentations. I'm up from 1. Today we have 5, and Dave White is a repeat offender. Loved it. Just couldn't help it. There's no ocean view today, which is kind of a shame. And if y'all missed that call a couple of weeks ago, I'd go look it up personally. It was a great time. But now we've converted this into numbers instead of arrows, and we can give them a quick answer to what's taking place. Days on the market for December was 92, but year-to-date was 78. So, again, a little bit of a variance. That's not unusual for that time of year. Asking price dollars per square, 132. Last year it was 129, but selling 122 versus 120. So we're up ever so slightly, but we're moving in the right direction. We're not moving down on those particular numbers, which is great. Sales price versus list, 96, the historic number in this business as long as I've been around. Now, if we were going to pare this down even farther, I know we can move that number around a little bit. Many of you have seen that presentation. So, again, this is just a super powerful tool that you have at your fingertips. And there you go. You have a nice little PDF that you can do whatever you'd like with. So anyone here in the room, give me a question of any kind?
You said you can put this on the iPhone?
Sure. You can simply take that PDF. The question was, can we put this on an iPhone? And the answer, of course, is yes. Or any other phone that you have out there. Simply create that PDF. You can attach it to an email. If you have Dropbox, you can throw it into your Dropbox account, open it on your phone, and you've got it right in your hand. If you'd like a copy of my report, Linda, just give me your email, and I'll email it to you right now.
Yes.
Meet a consumer in a grocery store and say that to them. Would you like a copy of the last 12 months report for the Hershey School District? Absolutely. Well, here you go. Give me your email. And I'm going to send you all the accompanying data with it at the bottom. And that's the fun part about that. That's the fun part of thinking mobile. I've got this. I've created it once. I don't have to run a report. I don't have to do anything. I'm just going to send it to you. And your consumers will think you're pretty cool. First, you have the answer they're looking for. Second, you're tech savvy and you can send it to them immediately. And third, it looks great. This looks like you spent a lot of time crunching numbers, creating a report, and we did it with 3 clicks in 3 minutes. This is faster than Toolkit and makes you look like a rock star and gives you great supporting data to go with all those comps that I know you like to pull. But if this was page 1 and 2, you know, I've got your attention right now. I smack you right between the eyes. And the beautiful part is it's been tailored to your particular market. Hershey, Hummelstown, we can drill it down again by price range. So that listing you're going to go out and take at $450 today. Let's go see what the $300,000 to $700,000 market in Dairy Township looks like. All we have to do is change our pricing. This should be fun, right? Kind of a mixed bag when it comes to arrows, kind of 50-50. Let's go to some actual real numbers. 2012 was a better year for number of sales in that price range. That's kind of interesting. Prices actually held the line but trended down ever so slightly. Inventory, rock solid across the board, so the trend line is very much the same. Market time, not bad. Price per square foot, that's as solid and practically as straight a line as you're ever going to see. And they're bringing high 90 percentiles for list versus sale price. So if we looked at days on the market, which we might as well do that, as my eyes focus.
Okay.
Days on the market were down 22%, down to 66, which is a real strong number for that price range. So just like my market condition addendum that I like, the argument is always the same. The best priced homes sell in the shortest period of time for the most money, and this simply makes that case. In a time where you've got a growing inventory of homes or a solid inventory of homes, days on the market are down significantly, 23%. See where we are for pricing. Sales price is up year over year. Again, ever so slightly, but rock solid. So this is not the market where you want to test a price, sharpen your pencil, come up with a strong number for them, and hold your ground. We don't want to test it because everything in the papers say that the market is up, and home prices are up, and everything is up. We can demonstrate here that no, they're not. The number of sales is actually down, guys. The inventory has held the line, but every other indicator is slightly up, and so you need to price it right and be the compelling value in the marketplace. And again, the overall inventory report that people see online says all the same things, but it just lumps it all into one pile. Much harder to pick apart. You get to be the real voice in this one and give it some, bring them local and give them an idea of what's going on in your market. I love this that you can pick it apart and move it any way that you want. And if you're one of those folks that needs to hide something, well, we can take out the price per square foot so that you don't give everybody all the keys to the kingdom if you out and price their home. I don't see that they're going to do that because right about now you should have convinced them that you're actually worth what you're doing. And I hope that you get that point across all the time.
Really back? Thank you.
So one thing that you will see is that we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 charts. When we go to the PDF, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have the same charts, but now we're picking up all the data at the bottom that comprise that. And so if you're a real numbers person, which would not be me, Um, you have the ability of printing that out, and you can dice it up any way that you like because you have the supporting data to go with it. So if you really want to pick it apart month by month, you have the ability to do that. Or in that report, you can hide that last table, simply turn it off, and then it won't come out. Folks in the room, any questions? Anyone out there in the listening audience have a question for us today? We have a nice attendance here today. Yeah.
Well, I missed your, when I was trying to log in. Where did you find this? Where did you get this report at?
Simply go into the question is, where do we find this? Where do we begin? We're going to start in the gateway, and we're going right here to MarketQuest.
Mm-hmm.
MarketQuest will bring you to a really exciting page that looks like this, and you simply select your multi-list. So you've got Paragon, MRIS, and RAYAC. Mr. White, you see anything missing there?
That would be Keystone. We've gone around about that.
Yeah, we have. So I hope you find this tool helpful to you, and take some time and work with it. This is the beginning of the year. This is a great day to run this report. I mean, it takes 3 seconds, run it, and use it all year long. Or if you ran it quarterly, but do whatever you want. But if you've got a specialty, a niche in the market that you really work, this would be great. If you represent a neighborhood, or if you're coming into Deer Run for the weekend to do an open house, why not run a snapshot of what townhomes are doing in Hummelstown from 150 to 250 and give them a real whack over the head?
Are you doing it?
What's happening with this market? That it's either a strong market. Again, if you're selling and it's strong, you want to know it. If you're buying and representing that open house, and a buyer walks in and you show them that
when is it on
things
tonight?
are moving, guys, inventories are down, pricing's moving up, wouldn't you like them to know that? That might cause them to make an offer in a much shorter period of time. And around here in Hershey, we are an analytic group.
Larry has granted permission for just he and I to go.
Everybody watch out in the background. I'm getting a conversation over the top here. So this would give you some great. This would give you.
Price mattresses.
Well, has it done anything on the computer to look?
No, but Wolf's having a sale, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Okay, somebody, you're bleeding over me badly out there. So anyway, make sure that you take advantage of this. Take it to your open house and equip those buyers with tools to help them say yes, because this would be something that could easily put them over the top and cause them to move quickly, just like, lots of other people in the house. You can actually develop that urgency that these units are moving fast and the inventory is down, and it's a better market out there than what you might be reading in the paper, might believe. Who knows? You're salespeople. I know you'll figure it out. So that's what I have for you today. Any other questions here in the live studio audience?
The reports are really professional, and they're going to really present they'll help with NH as well.
Yeah, if you want to look like a pro, if you want to be the market expert, the neighborhood expert, print out a report. This is not rocket science. All the heavy lifting's been done for you guys. If you have a particular format that you prefer, great. But for the vast majority of you, this has got to be better than what you're doing. And even if you just cut a chart out of it, add it to your email, signature when you send something out. How's the market? This is the 3-year running average for our marketplace. Call me if you have any questions. You can do all kinds of things to it. If you follow any trends, and you may have heard that I follow many of them, this is the year where we're going to see email and a lot of direct marketing is returning quickly. Dave and I were at a presentation in Atlantic City on email marketing and direct marketing. You couldn't have fit another body in that room. It was absurd, the people that stuffed into that room. So if you're thinking, I'm not sure what's working, guess what? There's a lot of people out there wondering what doesn't work, what does work. We're going to see a lot of what's called cross-media marketing really take hold. It's already there. If you watch anything on TV, and like the Today Show, we're in the orange room, send us a tweet, hashtag. They're bringing on teams to run their social media marketing along with the television audience. Everyone's crossing everything up. You should not have an email going out that doesn't have a link to something worthwhile in your signature line, probably your profile page or whatever you'd like. You should not send out a postcard that doesn't drive people somewhere. You can't put everything on that card, but it's a way to bring them into your world, which is your Jack On profile or something similar, a Facebook page if you keep it updated, a LinkedIn page if you have it current and complete. So that's the news today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and I hope this is helpful to you. The recording will be up this afternoon, so check out this recording and many of the others, and I will be back to you next Thursday again. Happy New Year, have a great day, and thanks for checking in.